Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a giant paper sweet pea, perfect for event decorations and installations. I'm using the 1/2-inch flexible pipe because sweet peas tend to have very dainty stems. Then add 2 of the 16-gauge floral wire stem onto the pipe with masking tape. I tape down most of the wire that's on the pipe. Add about 2 to 3 inches of these along the pipe. I feel like sweet peas tend to have around 3 small flowers on each stem, but you could choose to put more or less and vary on each stem you make. After you tape them down, you can shape the rest of the wire that isn't taped by bringing it down. And on one of the stems, I'm going to make a vine look, so I'll be shaping it in a spiral shape. Then I use foil and mold onto the wired stems. You want to make sure it looks a little thicker than the green wire, maybe about the width of the pipe, but a little less is fine to make it look like it belongs to the pipe. Fold down the foil as much as you can and it will build up a wider stem. Also leave about 3 to 4 inches of the wire left alone. This portion of the wire will be what anchors onto our flower. Do this to all your wired stems and shape the stems by rounding them. The sweet peas tend to have the flowers droop downward, so I curved each stem to go down, and that spiral stem is just a little accent to the stem, and it's optional. You can choose to just add another curved floral stem instead of the vine. Once you have the thickness you like for each wired piece, cover the foil area with more masking tape and try to make the surface more smooth instead of the cracked look from the foil. Also add more masking tape where the wire is on the pipe so you can't feel the bump of the wire, just making sure everything will look more discreet and formed to each other. Still leaving about 3 inches of the wire green. Next, I'm covering the pipe and the taped areas by using Mod Podge and adding tissue paper, then add more Mod Podge on top of the tissue paper. I found this green tissue paper, but you could also use white tissue paper and paint over it with a green color you like. I'm actually going to be painting it also with a green color I like, but it is nice if you have the green tissue paper in case when you paint it and miss some spots, it'll be somewhat green. Go back to any areas that tear, or if you miss any spots with extra tissue paper, this will happen since it is wet from the Mod Podge. You still want to Mod Podge most of it so it is formed onto it and it will feel solid after it dries. Cover up all the way to the bottom and wait a few hours till it dries before you paint it the color you like. You can paint it with any acrylic green color. While the stem is drying, I'll be making the flowers now. I used my regular size sweet pea template listed below, but enlarged the print line version to fit on one 8x11 size cardstock paper. And I cut each one by hand since the cut pattern is very easy, but you can choose to do them on the cutting machine as well. The first piece I fold it in half and cut along the sides. The second one is the same horizontal shape, but this I won't be folding it and just cutting along as one piece. Then you should have 2 that measures along vertically and cut that along the lines. If you are printing the pattern from the template, you'll need to print front and back. Then I got an extra print and cut 2 leaf-like shapes and take a thin floral wire about the length of my pinky and glue that onto the leaf shape and glue that onto the last 2 vertical shapes. Then use the same pipe to shape the petals. The first petal that will be folded in half does not need to be shaped. Curl in the petals and add some extra opposite curls in between, trying to make it look like a wavy shape. Don't crease the shape, but you could bring it in closer to tighten up the shape. The last two vertical pieces will be curling in vertically, and same way, curl opposite in between. Next, bring your pipe stems and take the leftover wire on the tips and curl it in. Then anchor your half-folded petal onto the curled wire and hot glue around the wire and along the edge and fold. Next, glue the bottom only of the horizontal petal and attach on the bottom. You could see a gap between the first folded one to the second petal, so make sure to create a gap. Then a little bit of glue on the stem area of the vertical petal and glue it on one side. And when you're attaching it, you can pull back a little to create that gap also and make it shape out so it looks more fluffy. Next, add the other petal on the other side, kind of like a butterfly. Then add the green leaf shape. First, cone the shape and cut the tip off so that it fits onto the pipe. Curl the leaves back and roll it onto the bottom of the flower, covering up any messiness. Glue the tab and make the leaves connect. I have a longer tutorial on how to build the concrete base for these standing flowers that you can check out below, and this will be where you attach your stems, and you could add 2 to 3 stems on each concrete base. You could also check out some of my other giant flower tutorials that will pair well with these giant sweet peas. Please like this video below and subscribe. Thank you for watching.